Jake Paul, Paddy the Baddy, they had their fight. Who won? Well, you tell me, who won this? Jake Paul told Paddy the Baddy a couple of days ago, I will fly you to where I am. I will fly you out here, and we're going to spar. And if you get the best of me, I'll give you $1 million. If I get the best of you, and he filled in the blank. It's going to help him with some deal he's doing in England. Paddy the Baddy responded and said, you come out to the PI right now, and I'll do it. Who won? Who wins that? I mean, who wins that face-off? I don't think it's Paddy. There was a very clear, it wasn't come to the PI. I mean, like, who wins that face-off? It's an interesting spot, isn't it? I have a hard time giving it to Paddy. I can't call Paddy a loser. I can't say he lost this, but I can't say that he won. He was invited to a specific location to do a specific thing. He countered that. And it's always tough because if Jake Paul had the opportunity, like if he was close enough and could get there, I think that he would have gone to the PI. I think he'd have floated right past security. I think he'd have been upstairs, and I think he would have had a camera with him, which is a very tricky spot because that's not legal. That's called a fight. And then they would have been involving the UFC. And it's a tough situation that we appear to be being very lighthearted about. We appear to think that that's fun. We appear to think that that's funny. But when money's on the line, it's a greed location and bad intentions, and the idea of doing damage to somebody else, boy, that sounds a lot like an MMA event, and you got to be really careful. It's a very slippery slope. Did you guys see this referee? Referee came out and outed himself. Boxing referee who, according to him, cheated. That's the word he used. He said, I cheated to help Manny Pacquiao back in the day. Manny Pacquiao fought a gentleman, and I believe you pronounce it Hassan. But Hassan came out, right? He's now not an athlete anymore. What do you call him, an older guy? He's retired. And he said, look, read what they're doing here. He's openly admitting he cheated me. And if you were in Hassan's position at that time, to get the jump on Manny Pacquiao would have been life-changing. Not only would it just make you feel good, you worked really hard and you have that one night and you and your trainers could go and celebrate something, it would change the trajectory of your career, at least assumingly so. So you have this referee that came out and said he screwed him, said I cheated him. He even told us how he did it. Told us fully how he did it. Now, he's telling the truth, and you see this all the time. I could share for you guys ways to cheat within boxing and MMA, and we do see it often. You guys have seen it, not even know what's happening. You ever seen Joe Rogan make a comment when there's ice on the ground? Yes? Okay. Do you understand why that ice is on the ground? Do you understand how it got there? And do you know it was not on accident? And do you know that it's cheating? Without even going into detail, I think all of you are shrugging your shoulders going, no. What? Wait, what? There's a number of ways to cheat. So when a referee, when an actual official, that's very different. If a cornerman does it, an athlete, you're talking about something very different. A guy needs a few more times, so he kicks the bucket over, acts like he's taking a step and kicks the bucket over. Then he gets out of the ring and doesn't tell anybody, and it's clear ice, so you don't know. Then he gets back to his corner. The referee's just about to start, and then he, the very guy that did it, starts yelling to the referee, whoa, 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 we got ice. The referee, and he goes over and he cleans ice. Do you not understand? Nobody's ever spilled a bucket of ice, just so you understand. That has never happened. You pretend that you've spilled a bucket of ice. That happens very regularly. So when this referee talks about I cheated, and he even said why. Said, I'm Filipino. He's Filipino, and all the people watching are Filipino. Which is a terrible reason. Like, this is a disgusting thing. I bring it to you. I bring it to you because it's very relevant on the heels of me asking you who won between Jake Paul and Paddy the Baddy, because Eddie Hearn, as of a month ago, was suing Jake Paul for $500 million. This referee just ended that lawsuit. Completely. Jake Paul never meant to literally say Eddie Hearn was using Eddie Hearn as an example of a figurehead in the leadership of boxing, right? People do that all the time with MMA. I'm going down to the UFC this weekend. UFC's in town. Yeah, my friend fights UFC. And then you find out it's an MMA event. It's in a little ballroom and 200 people are coming. Like, it's just a colloquialism. It's not meant to be an accident. But when Jake talked about the corruption within boxing, the cheating within boxing, and he said Eddie Hearn is using Eddie as a broad stroke, that lawsuit comes to a screeching halt when 100% what Jake referenced is now coming out by the guy himself who did it. I was working with the Oregon Commission one time. I was working with the Oregon Commission, and I was assigned to the locker room of a boxer who was a U.S. Olympian, even medaled in the Olympics, and his name is Floyd Mayweather. His Uncle Roger was a boxer, and his old man was a boxer, and I tell you, nobody knew who he was. He was the main event. Floyd was the main event in Oregon where we did what's called Paper in the House. We gave tickets away. We got 5,000 people to come. Not 5,000 people to buy tickets. We got 5,000 people to even show up. It was just before Floyd was Floyd. And this is back when he was still Pretty Boy. And he took on a former world champion named Sean Bay Mitchell. I tell you all of those details because what an exciting time, right? I'm in the locker room assigned to a guy right before he's the guy. Right before any of these things happen. It was a really great night. But one of the things that I have to do once I put my eyes on them and I can't ever leave, ever, they go to the bathroom, I go in the stall with them. If for any reason they stop me, I cut the tape off their hands and we redo it. I mean, it's just an interesting thing. The way when you're assigned and what they can do and everything they put on, anything they put in their body, water, just by example, is a really interesting thing. But one of the things that happened when I did the ring walk is the corner man turns to get out of the ring. He left the bucket behind. He forgot to grab the bucket. He turns to get out of the ring. So now he's not even looking at the bucket. He's looking the other way. And as he takes a step, he back kicks the bucket and spills. Oh, it's everywhere. So it's not his job to clean it up. I'm with the commission. It's my job to clean it up. I've got to get a towel, of which I didn't have ready. This was my first day working with the commission. I got to get a towel, and then I got to get into the ring, and then I've got to get it all. And not only do I have to make it so that it's not there, I've got to press down and make sure that it's gone. The referee at the time was a man named Dave Hagen, and he screamed at me by name, Chael, get that cleaned up. Dave Hagen, who was the referee at the time, is now the executive director of the Oregon Athletic Commission, and he told me afterwards, he said, Chael, that's a move. You didn't know that? He said, that's what they will do many times to buy themselves time, and it worked. Didn't it? You didn't even see it. You didn't even know they were you thought he kicked that bucket over an accident after you fell for the idea that he forgot to take it out in the first place. I said, yes, I did. I did not know that that was a move. I just bring it to your attention. A lot of moving parts and a lot of places I took you, but that referee coming out, declaring himself a cheater and the reasons he did it, brings a screeching halt to Eddie Hearn suing Jake Paul for bringing infractions of boxing to the public square.